There were a lot more than just two allies, Balindra says. Why, 600 years ago, they were nearly inseparable. You could have almost thought that they were a couple by looking at them, except for the fact that one of them was a human and the other was a spirit fox from the magical plane. I mean, he probably had some spell that allowed him to have some fun, I'm sure of it. Or some aura combining shit bullshit. I'm sure he had something to have fun with. Inseparable, huh? Well, I guess this explained why Aiden got so angry when I suggested that he destroyed the city of Olmnar because he was seeking the fox's forgiveness. Huh? Hadrick says, well, the more you know. Well, Melindra, you still haven't told them the funniest part, Araka says. What are you talking about? Melindra asks Araka in a cold tone. I'm talking about how the fox has been confined to her sacred forest for decades because of her spat with Aiden, Araka says. Why? Darren asks. Did Aiden lock her inside with a spell? It's not because of the Aiden. It's not because of Aiden. Melinda says, but because of the dragon Tyrath. Whenever she leaves her sacred forest, the fox loses most of her powers. The dragon knows this, and he would immediately seize the opportunity to kill her as soon as she stepped out of her realm. Yeah, Araka says, but back when the fox and Aiden were still buddies, Tyrus would not dare attack the fox even when she left the sacred forest because he knew the Aiden would immediately teleport to her aid, and since he could sense them both from all the way across from the continent. Wait, I say, that's the only reason why the dragon hasn't attacked the fox while she was outside her sacred forest? Because of Aiden? Couldn't he have just sent some of his elite squads to fight Aiden and kill the fox while he was distracted or something? No, Melindra says, definitely not. Aiden would never get distracted from watching over the fox by a few mooks. She's just too much important for him. If you wanted, he was a furry. Oh, fucking hell, that's the case. Oh, wait, hold on. If she's like fully fox, then that's not even furry. That's just like straight up bestiality. Oh man, Aiden has some nice taste, I should say. I don't know. Well, she does have a female's voice. Hold on, the fucking mic fell. There we go. Where was I? Definitely not. Yeah. If you wanted to distract Aiden from the fox, you need to bring a whole army to fight him. Oh god, hold on a second, Hardrick says. Didn't the fox, the dragon, and Aiden all have some pact with which prevented them from fighting each other? Why would the dragon try to break that pact by killing the fox when he'd know that it would lead to a direct confrontation with Aiden? Because it would be too good of an opportunity to pass up, Arca says, and one of the main reasons why the dragon agreed to make the pact in the first place was because he knew that Aiden and the fox were allies and didn't want to risk fighting them both at once. Starting a fight with Aiden would be a small price to pay for ridding himself of the fox, especially since he is under the delusion that he could defeat Aiden without destroying the whole continent in the process if he tried hard enough. And you don't think he could, Darren says. Of course he couldn't, Araka says. Tyrath would not stand a chance against Aiden if he went all out. You remember when Aiden revealed his aura in the arena and I said that he was finally getting a little bit serious? Well, I wasn't joking that time. Aiden is much more powerful than he lets on. I would know. I fought him in the Stillwinter. He could probably fight the dragon on equal terms even without his tricks. But with his tricks, he would probably destroy him without blinking. If he really is that powerful, then why didn't he just kill Tyrath until now? Why does it sound to me like you're making up excuses for losing in the Stillwinter? But why would Aiden be so much powerful than regular Stillwinters? Yeah, that is a very good question. I also, I really want to know the first question, why doesn't he kill Tyrath? Is he like seriously standing by just because of the pact? Why would Aiden be so much more powerful than regular Stillwinters? How should I know? Araka says. By the time I fused with Therius, the Stillwinters were already at war with the Lacethi. I don't know the history of how the Stillwaters came to be. I didn't here to find out, right, I say. You've been sharing quite a lot of things with us about Aiden's past today, Melindra, Luna says all of a sudden. As to what do we owe this sudden change of heart on your part? Well, since I'm obviously Aiden's spy, Melindra says with a sarcastic tone in her voice, I can't just keep everything a secret from you. I need to reveal some sensitive information here and there to make sure that you people actually start to trust me. And then she... Then she looks straight at Kate with a mocking smile. Wouldn't you agree? She asks her. Kate frowns at her, but she doesn't say anything. Maybe it's about time we change the subject, Hardrick said in an attempt to avoid another argument breaking out between Kate and Melindra. Like, for instance, did you guys also notice that we haven't really encountered a lot of animals while we've been walking through these forests? I would have expected these places to be teeming with wildlife, but mostly only run into monsters and other mages. That is a very good point. Most of the animals are likely already gone to the sacred forest by now, Kate says, where they can get the direct protection of the golden fox until this tournament is over. It would be too dangerous for them to wander around these parts when there are so many mages roaming around the lands. Remember that the tournament spell is only made to protect citizens of Arathia, not the animals as well. There are still some idiots who stayed behind though, Araka says. For example, you see that forest fire over there? I've been watching a bear and two wolves running in circles for the past 2 minutes, trying to find a way out to safety. They're pretty much surrounded by burning trees. They're probably going to get engulfed in the flames soon enough. What? Flower says, shocked. That's horrible. I know, right? Araka says. Nothing beats free entertainment. Anyone wants to make a bet on how long they're still got to live? No, Flower shouts. Oh, you really don't like gambling, do you? Araka says. Hold on, there's a forest fire, Darren says, as he tries to look through the semi-transparent ice cone for traces of smoke. How close is it to us? Is there any risk of fire spreading any more than it already has? Well, isn't it raining? What is happening here? The forest fire with the rain? Well, Araka says it's barely raining anymore. The lightning hasn't stopped yet, and the wind is still blowing hard. So I'd say that all the conditions you need for the fire to keep spreading. But judging by the direction in which the wind is blowing, I'd say it shouldn't reach us unless the lightning will strike some tree right next to us or something. I mean, I do believe that the, water that Kate creates with her ice spells, I think that water is like distilled or something. I think she mentioned that at some point, but I might just be making that shit up, honestly. So it shouldn't really go, the electricity should not really pass through it, but whatever. Where were we? Unless there's like, yeah. Oh, Darren says, well, in that case, we should be able to wait here until the storm ends. What do you mean? Flower asks. What about those animals trapped between the burning trees? We have to help them. Why would we risk our lives to help some animals? Darren says. They're the fox's problem, not ours. Agree with Darren, Kate says. We shouldn't be taking any unnecessary risk in a situation like this. I can't believe you guys, Flower says. Well, Petal and I are going, even without your help. I think we should go, because even before this whole situation came up with Flower says that I'm gonna go and help them, I was thinking that this is a good opportunity to get in the good books of the fox if we save these animals. Volunteer to go with Flower. Actually, I'll be coming too, I say. Oh, come on, Darren says. They're animals who can talk though, I say. It's not like they're some dumb beasts. But they're still animal, Darren says. Barry, let's go, Flower says to me after using her fire magic to melt a hole in the Kate's ice dome. It was ice dome? I thought it was ice cone. Alright, I say, lead the way, Barry. Barry, wait, Darren says. Relax, I tell him as I step out of the dome. It's not like I'm just going to die in some forest fire after having survived this long in the tournament. For so long. We got Illuna with us, who can extinguish the flame with her water magic. We'll be fine. Melindra, what are you doing? Flower says when she sees Melindra has remained in the cone. We need to hurry. Who, me? Melindra says with a surprised look on her face. Yes, you. Flower says, come on, we have no time to waste. Oh, fine. Melindra says she also walks out of Kate's dome in order to follow Flower. Let's go save some animals, I guess. Damn it, Darren says, as Kate is slowly closing up the holes in her dome. Watch out for lightning and for flaming branches falling from the trees. Yeah, we'll be careful, I tell Darren. And then we all head towards the black smoke coming out of the burning trees in the distance. We run in the same direction for about a minute, with Flower leading the way. The downpour of rain from before has turned into a drizzle while we were inside the dome, but the wind is still as powerful as ever. At the speed, have you ever had that? Like if you had like a fucking umbrella and it became a fucking cone, like in the cartoons, right? Have you ever had that happen? I've had that happen actually. Like the fucking umbrella broke because it basically was like a parachute at one point. There was also one time that was almost about to break and I just closed as I was like, I'm already drenched anyway, like what is the fucking point? If you ever are in a rain and you really need to keep the umbrella open, then it's preferable if you just pull it down and really hold it really close to your head and face towards the direction of the wind. I mean, it's more resistance, yes, but your umbrella won't break at least. Where were we? But in the same direction for about a minute with Flower leading the way. The downpour of rain from before has... Yeah. At the speed we are currently going, probably going to make it into the flaming trees in less than a minute. I'm surprised you came with us, I tell Melindra, as you run side by side beside Flower. I was under the impression that you didn't really like Golden Fox and her animals. I don't care about the animals, Melindra says. I only care because Flower asked me to. I see. Guys, focus, Flower says. We're getting close to the fire, Araka. Can you show us exactly where the animals are right now? Well, I could, but where would be the fun in that, Araka says. Of course you would say that. Flower says, fine, we'll find them on our own then. You should be able to sense their auras once you get close enough. Melinda says, if you're looking for bear and wolves, then they're in that direction. I can sense auras from a distance too, remember? Alright, I completely forgot. Flower says, thanks a lot, Melinda. Come on, let's get closer. When we begin to approach the forest fire, we quickly find out that there's a thick layer of black smoke between us and the burning trees that we're going to need to traverse before we reach our destination. Yeah, the water is not going to put out the smoke. The smoke is still gonna be around the area. We can reach a destination. Melinda, could you blow the smoke away with your wind magic? Flower says. Melinda stands there without saying anything. She appears to be very focused on the smoke in front of her. As I look at her, I suddenly remember how she was unable to fully control her powers. It explains why she simply staring at the smoke, unable to make a decision. Melinda, Flower says in a lower voice. She's probably thinking that she'll need a big blast of air to clear out the whole area of smoke. I tell Flower, come over here. We should give her some space. Okay, Flower says that she starts to follow me. Well, Melinda understands what I'm doing. She gives me a curt nod, and then she prepares to cast her spell. Once Flower and I are far enough, Melinda unleashes a very powerful blast of air that scatters all over the smoke, giving us a very clear view of the flaming forest ahead of us. As soon as she gets within range, Eluna shoots a very powerful jet of water out of her hand. She used to extinguish the flames from the trees and in front of us one by one. The fires are out, Flower says. Let's move. After we move past the flaming trees, it does not take us long until we manage to find the three animals by detecting their auras. As soon as we reach them, the two wolves both turn to face us while growling and baring their fangs at us menacingly. The bear is raising himself upright on his hind legs in order to look more intimidating.